So in this video, I'm going to be talking a little bit about the disadvantages of starting in a older world for new players. Besides the obvious ones in that a lot of players are not going to be on your same level, so there won't be much competition for you early in the game until you probably reach about marquee rank or higher. The other one is that the amount of protection afforded to you, believe it or not, is actually less in older worlds, despite the fact that more of the villages and players around you are higher ranked. And this is because honor builds up over time. And really the greatest deterrent for other players attacking you is the honor cost, how much honor they're going to be hit for attacking you. You can't, as a new player, expect to fend off armies of a prince, for example, until you're probably a knight or so, to reliably defend against it and actually be able to hold out. So you might be thinking, well, the honor cost is actually a pretty good deterrent, and in newer worlds it definitely is. The less active worlds and the older worlds, not so much, and the two generally go hand in hand. If a world is older, it tends to be less active, and this means that there's a lot more honor slushing around. There isn't as much being spent because there aren't as many wars happening, and that just since there is an unlimited amount of honor allowed per player, as you can see I'm almost hitting 1 billion in World 1, this leads up to a situation where a lot of players will stockpile up honor, and somebody trying to get a new foothold in that world would have an especially hard time taking those players on. This is compounded by the fact that while the cost to raise a village in later ages is increased, it does not increase according to the banqueting ratio, from what I can tell. So here, for example, we have a prince, attacking a thane in the island warfare world. Now, the island warfare world at this point is still in the first age, and we can just go here. This is a thane first rank, or first grade, I'm not sure how they put that sub rank, and it's going to cost me 873,000 honor. Now, if we move over here to World 1, I'm also a prince in this world, and I'm also attacking a first rank thane, and the village isn't going to affect it from what I've seen. The size of the village does not increase honor costs, and the cost to raise this village would be 3,494,000, which is, I would say, roughly, just off the top of my head, I haven't actually done this math, it looks more like a ×3 increase in honor cost than ×10. And if you recall correctly, in later ages, the honor production boost from banqueting is tenfold versus that for passive honor, which was only increased threefold. So while the cost to raise villages went up with the passive honor, it didn't go up with the banqueting honor. So players who are banqueting heavily are disproportionately advantaged towards attacks to other players. And those are contributing factors in why you are less safe as a player in older worlds. Now, there are advantages to starting in older worlds that I've mentioned before, namely that the players around you are well developed so that you can more reliably expect them to help you with resources to get started, and the parishes are better developed as a consequence of a higher level player base. But overall, you're just less safe. You're more likely to get attacked due to this honor discrepancy that is not found in the first age. You could say it's not balanced. It would be difficult to do so because there is a disparity now between the honor received from banqueting versus the honor received passively. There is also the fact that players in older worlds are generally more on edge towards newer players due to the fact that in these older, less active worlds, a lot of the new players that join end up trolling their parishes, the parishes of the existing players. So they'll jump into the game, flip the parish to themselves, to the new players, and then delete the castle, delete important upgraded guilds. So it's more likely that players in existing older worlds will raise newer players who are much lower in rank, and the fact that the aforementioned honor discrepancy exists means that this is more likely to happen. It's easier to actually execute than it would be in other worlds. And that's really the only point. I don't have some profound point here to make. This is just merely an observation that I found somewhat interesting. And I guess I just wanted to express the discovery of this, so sort of my thoughts on it, what implications it has. Of course, I'm not trying to discourage anybody from joining whichever world they want. I'm just trying to inform you of various ways the worlds differ from each other. And perhaps this would have been better sandwiched in with a more comprehensive overview of what it is like to join an older world as a new player.